between them. So we saw some very cagey racing in the men's steeplechase. They took that time qualifiers to mean we're just going to have a tactical race, we're just going to compete against each other. I earmarked Bobacher from Romania as an athlete that might front run. She's slotted into second place. The other athlete that's never scared to lead is Nozomi Tanaka of Japan. We talk about crazy triples that are being attempted at a championship. You can see Sifan Hassan just slotted in to the last place here, just jogging around with Laura Muir. Nozomi Tanaka actually ran the 800, 1500 and 5K in Eugene, so perhaps Hassan has had a talk with Tanaka and said, how was it? Do I want to attempt a crazy triple like that again? But Tanaka pushing from the front at the moment. This is a pretty respectable place. Bobacher in second and Nui in third. Laura Muir swinging around the whole group to get herself into third place.
Yeah, I feel sorry for Sifan Hassan having that 1 hour delay this morning, because of all the athletes that probably wanted a little bit more time between the two events, she's pretty much multi-evented today alongside the heptathletes, and I'm guessing she wanted an easy as ride as possible to get through this 1500 heat here before a 10,000 final tonight.
Well, 66 through the first lap, and Claudia Bobacher says that's not fast enough, and she's pushed herself into the front. And Sophia Anui, I think often I'm frustrated watching the Polish athlete run. She sits very far back, finishes like an absolute train. And Anui paying a lot of attention here in Heat 1 in the women's 1500. She's in second place. Laura Muir slotting into third, so that's 3 Europeans in the top 3, and these 3 are very, very used to racing each other at a championship level. They would have met each other at many European championships. The indoor series saw Laura Muir take the gold in Istanbul ahead of Claudia Bobacher. She took the silver. Sifan Hassan still just so content to sit at the back. It's very congested in the middle of the field. Tanaka pinned on the inside. The American champion Hiltz just to the outside of Tanaka. She's in a good position, the pair of them. They could glide through this field, but Claudia Bobacher pouring the pressure on at the front.
Yeah, Bobacher, you would say, probably isn't one of the fastest finishers in this field. There's plenty behind, so she's doing the right thing here, trying to stretch it out at the front. And you can see there's no one really running wider than just on the outside of 1 and 2, which bodes well for hopefully her chance of getting through on a quicker pace.
And Tanaka eager to push the pace on a tiny bit, perhaps feeling that the mark from Bobacher through 800 meters, 2:13, not quick enough. Laura Muir protecting her position though. Kenyan athlete just slotted in there on the inside, trying to protect her position as well. Here goes a move perhaps from Nikki Hiltz. They're trying to make their way just a little bit further up. Abby Caldwell is closest on, but it's 500 meters to go. This is female 1500 meter running. Everybody can make it to a K. They're spread out across the track. There's pushing, they're shoving Tanaka, trying to take the lead from Muir into the bell. Stafford on the inside for Canada, gliding past Bobacher. It's all to fight for. 3:02 at the bell. This is going to be about positioning. This is going to be about timing your kick correctly. Tanaka has started her kick already. She's trying to control this from the front. Lucia Stafford of Canada, that was such a good move to get herself into contention. And there's only 6 women going through to the semi-finals from this race. And it's all to fight for. There goes Hassan for the first time. That's the first we've seen of the Dutch women, and she's glided down the back straight. Questions about her speed. Could she possibly have a fast finish when she's won the London Marathon this year? And Hassan not intimidated at all by this field, happy to leave her kick till very, very late. It's Tanaka, Muir, Hassan, 3 abreast as they go into 100 meters to go. And it's Jebitov of Kenya in the 4th position at the moment. Nikki Hiltz, Abby Caldwell are going to have to close hard here. Just 6 to automatically qualify for the semi-final. Hassan looking comfortable, pulling away. That's a 60-second closing lap for Hassan, probably faster because she was further back. Muir from Hiltz, and Kibiwat, Caldwell and Tanaka, they will be your top 6.
Yeah, I was surprised that Naui wasn't there at the end, a bit more featuring, but that's the tough thing about this 6 automatic and no fastest losers otherwise, that unfortunately Stafford's going to be one that misses out there. But I would say a lot of the usual suspects you'd expect. And Hassan, you were saying, Hannah, like, questions about her speed, having only run a marathon 4 months ago. I think she's answered them pretty well, hasn't she?
As an athlete, Jake, if you were approaching a championship with that removal of time qualifiers, does that change the way you approach that race at all?
I think you can't afford any complacency. In previous years where you've been able to get through as a small queue, we'd call it, rather than the big queue, you can perhaps afford to not be at your best in the heat, and you get the luxury of still getting put through, especially if you're one of the later heats. Whereas for this, it's just cutthroat racing. If you're on a bad day or if you don't quite feel right, unfortunately you're going to pay the price in a heat like this.
And it is, I mean, it's always stressful. Heats are always stressful. I think if you get put in that third and final heat, that's the only circumstance where you might relax a little bit and, think, and assume you know how it's going to go. But it's fine margins in 1500. You put yourself right on that limit, and it's hard. You can see Lucia Stafford made a great move into the bell, got herself into a brilliant position, but that was perhaps all she had, and then she really paid for it.
And it was the same with Boba. She knew what she needed to do throughout 3/4 of the race, but sadly it just got moving a little bit too quick at the end. And I for one, I'm glad to kind of see the 6 automatic qualifiers. I think you take away pacemakers when you come to championship racing, so why not take away any sort of time resemblance as well and just have it straight racing. Anyone watching who's not watched it before knows the first 6 across the line are going to be the ones that go through to tomorrow night's semi-finals.
And we were speculating in the steeplechase, we saw some very tactical races, and we lost some athletes with faster times on paper, you know, higher ranked athletes. But this is championship racing.
Yeah.
This isn't about time trial racing. So do you think this is the best way to yield your best championship performers into a final?
I think so. The shorter the distance, the tougher it becomes. I think definitely for the 5K, maybe the 3K chase, just because it always was the case that all the fast losers came from the last heats, whereas for this, you always knew what you had to run if you're in the 3rd or 4th.
Well, Safan Hassan, top of the pile, 4:02.